All right, let's dive into this decision intelligence thing.
Sounds good.
We're looking at this article by AI Coach by Anil Nathu, right?
Yeah.
It sets out like a whole framework for,
For bringing AI into
yeah, AI into decision making.
exactly, like how to actually
Use it. Yeah,
it's all about using data in AI, but like
right.
not just that, also human expertise to make
Yeah. It's not just like
smarter decisions.
throw the data at the computer
Right.
and let it decide.
Yeah. So it's like this 5-phase process.
Like a blueprint?
Almost.
I like that. Like a blueprint.
Yeah. AI Coach by Anil Nathu.
AI Coach, yeah.
Really breaks it down nicely.
Yeah, so like phase 1, decision requirements.
Well.
This is where you really got to like nail down the problem you're trying to solve.
It sounds super basic, but it's actually more than just like knowing what decision you're making.
Right.
It's understanding the whole context.
Yeah.
Any limitation.
The whole picture.
And like, what does success actually look like?
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of like if you're planning a trip,
Yeah.
just saying, I want to go on a trip, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's
Got to
right.
figure out like where you're going, how much time you got, budget.
Exactly. And the AI Coach by Anil Nathu, they
highlight
the collaboration part here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not like in a silo making decisions.
Yeah, it's
like
like
you gotta
vacuum.
Yeah, gotta bring in like other people, domain experts, stakeholders.
Yeah.
To get their insights.
Stakeholders, yeah.
It's interesting how AI Coach emphasizes that human element right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Not just all about
algorithms.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, you got the decision requirements nailed down, then what?
Then we move on to phase B, decision modeling.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting, right?
Yeah, this is where they introduce a really powerful tool called a Causal Decision Diagram.
Causal Decision Diagram.
CDD.
CDD, yep, that's it.
I've heard of those.
Have you?
Yeah, like a visual representation of the decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you map out...
you map out all the cause and effect?
Yeah, cause and effect relationships.
Between the things you can do and the outcomes you want.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you're launching a new marketing campaign.
Right.
Your CDD would show like the different options for the campaign.
Yeah.
Resources you got.
Yeah.
And like how those choices might impact.
Your brand awareness, sales, all that stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
And what AI Coach by Anil Nathu points out is that even though it sounds complex, it's actually like surprisingly simple.
Really?
Yeah.
You can just...
You don't need any fancy software.
You can do it on a whiteboard.
Yeah. Whiteboard, napkin, whatever you got.
So we've defined the decision, created a roadmap. What's next?
Phase C, decision reasoning.
This is where it gets really interesting because this is where we start using AI to play around with different scenarios.
Like simulations.
Simulations.
Like, what if we did this? What if we did that?
Exactly. They call it creating a digital twin of your decision.
I like that, digital twin.
Yeah.
So it's like a virtual test lab.
Exactly.
As your decision.
You can tweak variables and see what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah. So going back to your marketing campaign, right?
Uh-huh.
You could use AI to simulate like different budgets, different target audiences,
different approaches.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And see how that impacts the success.
Exactly. So you can make a more informed decision.
That's really neat.
And you move beyond just gut feeling.
Oh, yeah.
It's data-driven.
Data-driven decision.
Even when there's uncertainty.
That's cool. So it's like those choose your own adventure books, but with AI guiding the story.
Exactly.
So we've explored scenarios, got a good grasp of potential outcomes. What's next?
Then it's time to actually put the plan into action.
Phase D, right?
Decision action.
Decision action.
This is all about implementing the plan,
okay. But
it's not just like set it and forget it.
Okay.
You got to monitor and adjust.
Oh, so you're not just making the decision and hoping for the best.
No.
It's an ongoing process.
It's iterative.
I see. So you're constantly learning and refining.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so what's the final phase?
Phase E, decision review.
Okay.
This is where you take a step back.
You look back and say, what happened?
Yeah, what worked, what didn't, and what did we learn?
So it's not a one-and-done deal.
Nope.
Decision intelligence, it's all about...
Continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement.
Yeah.
Building an organizational memory.
Exactly.
So if you make a mistake, you don't just sweep it under the rug.
No, you learn from it.
You learn from it.
Document it and create this decision library that AI Coach by Anil Nathu talks about.
Like a knowledge base?
Yeah, of best practices.
That's pretty cool. So we've covered the 5 phases, but what really stood out to you from the article?
Well, one thing that really struck me is that it's not just about
Yeah.
Using fancy algorithms, it's a mindset shift.
It's a way of thinking.
Yeah, approaching decisions with more structure, more data, more intentionally.
And it's not just for, like, big strategic decisions, right?
No, no, not at all.
You can use this for everyday stuff.
AI Coach by Anil Nathu really emphasizes that it can be applied to any decision, big or small.
So it's just about making better decisions across the board.
Exactly.
I like that. But how do you actually start applying these principles?
Right.
Where do you even begin?
Well, that's what we'll get into in the next part.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, the article AI Coach by Anil Nathu has some practical advice.
Okay.
He suggests start by kicking a decision that you're struggling with.
Okay, a real-world problem.
Yeah, something that's giving you headaches.
Makes sense.
And then you walk through those 5 phases we talked about.
Okay.
Start by, define the problem.
Yep.
Desired outcomes. And then,
Sketch out the CDD.
yeah, map it all out.
And don't worry if it's not perfect, right?
Yeah, first draft.
He's got to get started.
Exactly. And then think about how you can use data and AI
Okay.
to explore, like, different scenarios.
Yeah.
You might not have fancy tools.
Right.
But even simple spreadsheets can help.
Oh, so you don't have to be a data scientist.
No, not at all.
Use decision intelligence.
It's about using what you have.
Right.
And don't forget that human element.
Your gut feeling.
Yeah. Intuition, experience.
So it's like a balance between data and
Yeah.
human judgment.
That's it.
Okay, so as you go through the process,
Keep track of everything.
what works, what doesn't?
Exactly. And that's how you build that decision library. Like AI Coach by Anil Nathu mentioned.
Like turning each decision into a mini case study.
Yeah, something like that.
As we're talking about this,
Yeah.
I'm seeing connections to other decision-making frameworks.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like I've read about identifying biases,
Mm-hmm.
using decision trees.
Yeah, yeah.
That feels like decision intelligence pulls from different approaches.
I think so, but the focus on data and AI is what makes it different.
It's about integrating them at every step.
Yeah, not just informing the decision, but
Using AI for scenarios.
simulating outcomes.
Monitoring results.
Yeah, all of it.
It's like having an AI co-pilot for decision making.
Yeah, exactly.
An AI coach by Anil Nathu, he also talks about collaboration.
Right, it's not a solo thing.
You got to bring in different people, expertise.
To make better choices.
It's about building a culture of data-driven decision making.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, breaking down those silos between departments.
And getting everyone on the same page.
Working towards the same goals.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see how that would be beneficial.
Especially in big organizations. One thing that often gets missed when talking about decisions,
Oh, what's that?
the emotional side of things.
Oh, interesting.
We tend to think of decisions as purely rational,
Right.
but our emotions play a big role.
Fear, excitement,
All of that
uncertainty, yeah.
can influence our judgment.
But sometimes your gut feeling can be right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's not always a bad thing,
It's about being aware of it.
recognizing it.
And that's where decision intelligence can help.
How so?
Using data, AI to explore scenarios, you get a more objective view.
You step back from the emotions.
Exactly.
So you're not eliminating emotions, you're balancing them out.
With data.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it brings together human intuition,
And data.
and that's what decision intelligence is all about.
It's a framework for making better decisions,
You're right.
using all the tools we have.
Exactly.
And it seems like this approach can be applied to anything.
Oh, yeah. Personal choices, business challenges.
AI Coach by Anil Nathu even gives some examples.
Yeah, in healthcare, finance,
Even government.
all sorts of fields.
So to wrap things up,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the main thing is
Yeah.
decision intelligence is a journey.
It's not a destination.
It's about constantly learning and improving.
A mindset shift.
Exactly.
It's not about replacing human judgment with algorithms,
It's finding that balance.
where intuition and data work together.
Yes. And remember,
Yeah.
you don't need to be an expert to start using these principles.
Just pick a decision.
Walk through the phases.
Experiment.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
There are resources out there
Lots of them.
to help you on your decision intelligence journey.
Exactly.
So where can our listeners learn more? Well, the article we talked about, the decision intelligence process,
Yeah.
that's a good place to start.
From AI Coach by Anil Nathu.
It's on their website.
Yeah, it's really clear and easy to understand.
Yeah, he breaks it down well. And for listeners who want to go deeper, there's that book we mentioned,
The Decision Intelligence Handbook.
The Decision Intelligence Handbook, yeah.
Yeah, by Pratt and Malcolm.
Pratt and Malcolm, that's right.
They go into a lot more detail.
Yeah, more practical applications.
Yeah.
You could also check out online resources.
Oh, yeah, like communities and forums.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah, it's changing so fast. Gotta stay connected.
It's like having a network of decision-making experts.
Right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And as you keep learning about this,
Keep experimenting.
remember, it's a journey.
Not a destination.
Don't expect results overnight.
It takes time
Practice.
to get good at it,
You'll get better at spotting opportunities
to use it.
in your work and life.
Yeah, so to wrap up,
Hmm.
think about a decision you're facing right now.
Something that could benefit from a more structured approach,
Maybe something you've been putting off.
or something that's causing you stress.
Yeah, think about how you could apply what we talked about today.
To make a more informed choice.
Better decisions lead to better outcomes, right?
That's the whole point.
So embrace the power of decision intelligence.
And see how it changes things.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.